In this video, we are going to discuss a one sample t-test using a p-value approach and an online calculator. It says, researcher Franco claims that the average score of the fundamentals of statistics Math 121E is less than 90%. To test his claim, he surveyed a sample of 30 of the Math 121A students using a significance level of alpha 0.05 and an online calculator. Let's help Franco complete the t-test for mean via a p-value approach. The data is presented in the following table. So here's a table with the data that was collected. Now, to perform a p-value approach to hypothesis t-test, T, we have to state a pair of hypotheses. So we have to translate the claim to symbolic form and to complete the pair. The claim is saying that the population mean is less than 90%. So to translate this to symbolic form, we go to insert and we go to equations and we obtain the symbol for population mean. Here it is. It's a Greek letter called mu. And here is a claim. The population mean is less than 90. Okay, and as you can see, the sign of the alternative is pointing towards the left. So that's the left tail test. And the null, to complete the pair, here's the null, which is in the opposite direction with the equal sign. So the null is saying, well, the population mean is greater than or equal to 90. So let's see what the data have to say. Okay, so the null has spoken, the alternative has spoken. Let's see what the data has to say. So step number 2 is to establish a significance level. So we can use 0.05 for our significance level. And step number 3 says, use the sample data to calculate the test statistic. And then step number 4 says, so use the test statistic to obtain the p-value. Now, we are going to use an online calculator. So the online calculator will actually perform steps number 2, 3, and 4 for us automatically. So here's the link for the online calculator, Stats Kingdom. There are 2 of them. Let's just click on Stats Kingdom for starters. And here it says it's a one sample t-test calculator. And we have to specify what tail. As we said earlier on, it's a left tail. And the expected mean coincidentally is 90. Because we claim that the mean is less than or equal to 9. It's less than 90. That's what the claim was. So the expected mean is 90. And the significance level is 0.05. So what we need to do is to input the data. There are 3 different ways to input the data. You can actually type in the sample average, type in the sample standard deviation, and type in the sample size, and it will actually use that information to perform the test, or you can enter the data directly or enter the data from Excel. So let's just enter the data directly. And here a column has appeared to paste the data or type it in. So let's modify, let's change the group 1 to Math 121E. And let's go to where the data is so that we can copy and paste it. As you can see, the data is presented in a table. So we can copy this data, paste it in the program here. So here it is. The data has been pasted. And what we need to do now is to calculate. Click on calculate. And as you can see, automatically a report has been given, and the output has the p-value, the test statistic, the sample size, the sample average, the sample standard deviation. Okay. And as it says here, reporting using APA style, the results of the one sample t-test indicated that there is a significant large difference between MAF121A, the sample mean of 74.8, compared to the population mean of 90. So we have a very small p-value. So what we can do, we can copy this using snipping tool, copy this and paste this in our document, stopping from standard sample standard deviation. Remember, we are performing a p-value approach. So we have to compare the p-value to the significance level. And after we have done that, we have to decide. The decision criteria is such that we reject the null if the p-value is less than the significance level of 0.05. Otherwise, we do not reject the null. And the conclusion is such that we have to conclude with the null if it was not rejected, or we have to conclude with the alternative if the null was rejected. So when we come back here now, we are actually comparing the p-value with the significance level. As you can see, the p-value is very, very small compared to the significance level of 0.05. So the p-value is smaller or less than the significance level. So in that case, we have to reject the null hypothesis. So based on the data at a 5% significance level, alternative, which is the population mean, is less than 90%. So that's how you perform a p-value approach using an online calculator for a t-test statistic. T for t-student, Z for standardized. Z and T are very similar. T is normally used when you do not know the population standard deviation and when your sample size is very small, smaller than 30. So T and Z are like brothers and sisters, or brothers or sisters.